Welcome to a Rome to Total War 3 versus 3 siege battle. To take part in future events or similar events like this, check out the OBG Discord server, linked down below. In this battle here, we have Carthage attacking, led by Hermes. As Massilia, we have Fight Me, and then back here, as the Ardii, we have Gurkenheld. Defending on the front here, as Lusitania, we have Berry. Over here, what faction is this? Is this the Aravaki? Aravaki, yeah. Aravasi, however you pronounce it. Controlled by Hella Fantastic. And somewhere in the city as well, we should have Epirus, controlled by Mr. Romantic. There we are. There are the 6 players for today. I'm gonna forget throughout. But we'll give it a good go. We'll see how we do. We're spectating as the attackers, hence why we can't see what's going on inside the city. And okay, triple speed is not possible. Okay, double speed it is for the time being. They're moving their siege towers forwards to block the tower shots. The rams already at the walls, making their breaches, and they're already letting them in there. They're already capturing this gatehouse. Now that's interesting that the defenders have really just pulled back completely to let them have it. Yeah, you rarely see that. Are they wanting to hold the bridges instead? Looking at this city, that would make a lot more sense if they held the bridges. Ooh, come on, it's like if you're gonna design a city, you can't really design it like this. Like, what are these defences gonna do? You can easily hop over that or just walk around it. Walk around here, and then you're basically pretty much in the city. Maybe rope down. Okay, then you get a bit stuck. Oh, you can actually make this jump, can't you? Yes, then you can make it down here, and then you're in the city. Alright, you've got a massive opening right here in the city walls. That's just bad architecture. That's just bad game design, really. Whilst they're setting up, I'll continue to have a little look around, but I do like this bit here, how it's got its own separate fort, separate from the city. I'd like to see more stuff like this, but have them actually have a use. And it looks like we're fighting... It's got to be like in Persia or something like that. Although the settlement's controlled by Epirus. Yeah, okay, let's take a look at the armies. So they're slowly moving into the city here. Massilia leading the way under command of Fight Me. He's really egging them on. It's like his name is Fight Me. He's holding their city. He's holding a part of their land. He wants them to fight him, basically. We've got the Ardii lined up with the Carthaginians outside, controlled by Hermes as Carthage, and Gurkenheld as the Ardii. And they're defending the water. Okay, so you can go across the water. It's not going to be a bridge battle. They're holding the water instead, which this will be so annoying. It's like, do we really have to be stood here? Or maybe in this heat they might actually like it. This might actually be a reward for them, to some extent. And I bet the water's quite clean as well. Yeah, the water's gonna be clean. Because of these rocks there. They're making another breach here, which is going to force them to flank this unit. So this unit here should really retreat. Pull back to here, I think, with this unit. They've not even really started the skirmish phase of the battle, where the archers just shoot at each other for a bit. These defenders playing it everyone's playing it very defensively, actually. Yeah, by even not holding the front wall, to some extent, is a defensive play by the defenders. The attackers not pushing forwards yet, though. They're capturing this tower. And I think they've moved their ballista nearby as well, or it's there. Yeah, because I saw some of the shots hit the infantry. Yep, so they're now in the city. Can they sneak through this? I don't think they can, but that would be the play to go for if they could. And if I was the attacker, I'd have a big push this way. There's no point pushing this way, that just gets you stuck up on all of the towers and the walls, and that's a bit of a mess. But if you push this way, you don't have to deal with all of that nonsense. So yeah, the attackers should push down here. The defenders, I mean, you're invested in this position now, you can't really move from it. They're trying to charge here, but they've been absolutely butchered by the peeler, by the javelin shots. So yeah, that's one unit gone already for the defenders. It's pretty much dead. And they're not getting that many kills out of it. Like, they've got 58 from their javelins. These have got 7. That being said, maybe it's just a trash unit and you're just really using them as cannon fodder. That's possible too, in which case it might actually be worth it. Where are the attackers going? Can they make it through this little gap here? Got a hidden unit there that they think is hidden, but it's not hidden, it's quite clearly visible. And there's 20 minutes of this battle left, so I think at some random point they're just going to clash and one side is going to dominate the other. Arrow shots are coming through, the attacker is making a move now, seeing as though the defender doesn't really want to do anything, and the battle begins. Spearmen charging swordsmen. Generally speaking, the swordsman should have the advantage, but, you know, I don't understand. I don't know the different skill levels of these units here. Like how much they cost and everything. Looking at it so far though, it does look like the spearmen are winning. No, the swordsmen are winning. Yes, okay, they're on 5 kills, they're on 45 kills. Yeah, and they should break that unit there. Yep, they're already routing. Okay, good, those swordsmen are doing a good job. Where are the Epirus's forces? Here they are. Epirus is the brownie coloured one, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, there was a catapult shot of some kind, a ballista shot. Why would you hold down this part of the river? Cool looking unit, but do you really need to do this? Maybe they're worried about some cavalry coming round the flank, so I've just got a spearman unit there to hold it for the time being. I mean, obviously that's why they're doing it, but I don't know, I don't see the defenders doing that. The defenders are playing it very, like, tight and in the city, not really focusing on the walls and the outside that much, so I think you should be fine. But then again, you could argue better safe than sorry. The Carthaginians are here now, their archers are shooting as well at their swordsmen here. They should get quite a few kills with that because they're very lightly armoured. What's happening over here? Massilia pushing forwards with a swordsman. This is not the place you want to be. You can be flanked from here, here, and from across the water, and you can be hit from all sides by archers. You don't want to fight in this bit if you're the attacker. If you're the attacker, you don't want to fight here as well because of the tower. I would say you'd want to fight almost entirely down in this region here, with small skirmishes in the middle just to keep them occupied in this section, which they are sort of doing. This is just a small skirmish to keep them occupied here, whilst the real push is down here, so they are making the right move. But you don't want to overinvest is what I'm trying to say. And it did look like they were about to overinvest for a second with these units, but no, they've pulled them back, they're holding their line. And this is good, they're taking some hits here, but it's light troops, it's the cannon fodder. It doesn't matter if these guys die, they're not going to win it for you anyway. That was bad though. The second their slings came in, they turned around. If I just waited another second, they could have had their shields at the front, stopped the slingshots and then ran. Could have saved a few lives. But then again, when you're playing these actual battles, you're not going to be focusing on all of that stuff. It looks like they're going to make the breakthrough here, are the attackers, and control the bridge. So the defenders having to throw some more swordsmen in here to try and hold them back. Balance of power still in favour of the attackers right now, but only slightly, by like 1 or 2% by the looks of things. It's still pretty 50-50, so I'm not going to call it yet. Massilia actually breaking over here, that's a good sign for the defenders. If I was the defender here, I think they're doing an okay job at holding here. Yes, hold this bit here, as you are doing, to try and get a big surround on them. Hope that they overinvest over here, make a mistake and we can surround them. I might be tempted to bring some heavy infantry round this way, take out these swordsmen, and try and take this tower back and have it shooting their back. And then you slowly sort of start to envelop them by capturing the towers on these sides. Sometimes the defender has to play aggressively, and I think this is what they need to do in this situation. Push here, take this tower, block their exits, and then surround them. Big push this way, with a big push here, with a big push here, and you'll just surround them. Get them in a blob and surround them. What's on fire over here? Someone's using flaming shot, one of those archer units, and that did break them, so they're now pulling back, and the defenders are now having to send even more troops over here if they wish to hold this bridge, which they do need to, because if the attackers take this bridge here, these archers are not going to hold. They're going to get broken, then they're going to flank around and take the Scorpion, but they can get their infantry over here, and then they can push here, and then and then they can completely encircle all of these defenders here. So they do really need to hold on to this bridge as well. They're trying to make light pushes here. I don't think that's the right call. I don't think they're going to break through those spearmen with just some light swordsmen. The attacker really pushing into this centrepiece here, which I advised earlier not to do. But it looks like they're going for it anyway. It does look like it is working for them though. If they just have the better infantry and a bit of luck on their side, they can cut through this. Yeah, because the defender's not really throwing a load of units in here to get all of those flanking manoeuvres. They're not going for that right now. Like, they've got a few units here and there, but they're not, like, pushing into it. Which means it can lead to some little, like, divide and conquers like this. I've got one unit cut off, another unit cut off, another unit cut off from the rest, and if they keep that up, they will probably break through. These archers are probably getting a lot of kills, yep. This is what I mean. So these units here are having to turn around and face the back, have their back face the archers to be able to fight on all these different fronts, which allows these archers here to get like 180 kills, 96 kills, 91 kills. Whereas these missile units, 49, 0, 39, 36, nowhere near statistically, because the defenders here, they have their shields forwards. They only need to look one way right now. And that having their shields forwards means the archers, or sometimes slingers, sometimes javelinmen, do a lot less damage. So the attacker is really suffering from this move, and you can see it here with the sheer amount of kills that these missile units are getting. But still, that being said, his infantry is tough and it's breaking through. The defender does not have the tough heavy infantry required of him to hold this bit down, and now he's pushing through. The missile units are in danger now from these Massilian swordsmen, and they're all going to get cut down, and the main loss is they now can no longer fire. Meanwhile, yeah, nothing's happening on this flank here. Nothing's happening in the centre. They're not pushing round to take that tower. I think the attackers might have this. I think they can potentially win it here, simply because they were able to break through this river bit. If the defender could hold the river bit for longer, imagine the kills these archers and slingers would have continued to get. I keep calling them archers, I think they're actually all slingers. Yeah, there's some archers back here, but I think most of them are slingers. Especially the ones fighting in melee. More units coming in for the attacker. The RDI are on the move. And where are they going exactly? It looks like they're going into the centre. Yeah, to try and hold back these units whilst these other ones cross the bridge and silence the missiles. It's a very big aggressive push here that we're seeing. But I think it will work for the attacker eventually. The defender, they need to throw a lot more troops in here and get that surrounding. It's like, at what point has this unit here overextended? Right now, I think they're fine, but if a unit just sneaks round and hits them in the back, then suddenly they're overextended. The chance to do that for the defender has fallen because of these reinforcements getting here. They can now watch their flank. Yep, see, the gap is now closed, so they missed their chance to do that. And the attackers are just breaking through here by just sheer force of will, and they've got the cavalry here as well. And then that cav unit's going to cut down all of these archers quite easily. Yeah, Massilian cav, quite tough. Ooh, they lost a lot of men though from those javelins. That was a brutal hit. Still continuing to lose cavalry. The swordsmen come in now. Maybe this cavalry unit came in a little bit too early. Yeah, I think it's safe to say they were too early because the unit's pretty much dead at this point. It would have messed up the defender's formation a bit, but I don't think it's worth it. Down to the final 18, 16, 15, they're breaking, and with that, yeah, they're basically gone. A waste of a cav unit. If I'd just waited a bit longer, then it could have worked. Or maybe have pushed the cav unit round this way. That could have opened up some interesting opportunities. Is everyone's general still alive? I believe so. Let me just check all of these units. Yeah, it seems all generals are still alive. Yep. Carthage still pushing across the bridge though. We've got a general here. Who's this? This faction here, the red one. What are the red one? That will be... It's either Varkey or Lusitania. They're both very similar factions, I think. Carthage still pushing for that bridge. They're still pushing across this river, but the defenders are actually having somewhat of a good hold now. I say that as one of their units gets completely wiped out. And they've completely abandoned this side. Now might be the attacker's chance. Just send the spearmen forwards, capture that tower, capture some more of these towers here, maybe capture a plaza point, maybe get a flank round in. Yeah, because you don't want this tower to be shooting at you. But if you capture it, which you can very easily do, taking minimal losses because they have no troops here, you can have it fire at their troops. What happens if we triple speed? Oh, computer still explodes. This Carthaginian unit trying to make it through. I don't think they're going to do much. Yeah, they're just going to get hit by the missiles and die, unfortunately. But at least they're using up the ammunition of the enemy. And there we go, they're all going to get run down. That one guy survived. Never mind. The entire squad got wiped out. Meanwhile, in the middle here, it's just a load of dead bodies, pretty much. That's basically it at this point, just a load of dead bodies. No general has been killed yet, I don't think. Nah, none that I can see. We've crossed the bridge there, and they're finally starting to get this flank in here, which is going to be very beneficial for the attackers, but they need a few more units coming this way, because imagine if they hit this spearman unit instead. That would have broken them, then these two are freed up to go for those. But instead they went for the archer, which means they're going to get hit in the flank. So yeah, I think that was a bit of a mistake there. Again, overextending. They should have gone for this simpler unit here. Instead, they've left themselves open, they got flanked, and now Carthage is going to lose that Libyan heavy infantry unit. Alright, there we go. They've noticed the tower is open, so that unit is not going to be the one to capture it. And yes, now they've been able to push this way, and they've pushed this way. So they've broken those units there, and now they can push this way, and they can break this Lusitanian unit and this Epirite unit as well quite easily, whilst capturing the tower with their general. Imagine the general dies. No, capture it, don't neutralise it, capture it, that's what you need to do. And then you can push this way, or maybe don't push this way at this point. If they're going to actually hold it down, then you don't need to. Just hold it and sit there. And yeah, the defender can no longer push into this circle here and flank them from this route now. So now, in theory, it should really start ticking in favour of the attacker, because the flanking positions that the defender was relying upon, those have gone now. And the balance of power starting to really favour the attackers. Yep, they're going to capture this tower. Is that tower now going to shoot? Possibly. It doesn't really have a shot. These guys are in range, but it doesn't have a shot. The swordsmen are coming forwards. Right, now the tower's shooting at these guys, so these Carthaginians should be able to cut through this unit, and it's a general unit as well, so hopefully we get that kill there. Well, hopefully for their sake. And then, if Lusitania loses their general, then yeah, they're going to completely collapse. They're pushing across the river and pushing across the bridge route now to surround these guys. The defenders are going to crumble here now. They've got archers here charging in melee with cavalry support, but I don't think there's much the defenders can do anymore. I think that's it. I think the attackers have broken through. They're now in a position where they can just divide and conquer the defenders as they please. And with that, I think the defenders are going to win. I think the attackers are going to win. Having to pull the cav unit out, yeah, they don't want to lose a general. They need to kill a general, do the defenders. I think that's the only way they can win it. That is the only way they can pull it back, by getting a lucky kill on a general. But they're having to risk their own generals in big heroic charges to try and achieve that. All the infantry are now starting to really move in. They're throwing their weight in here. The attackers are making their big final move, just sending the infantry, cut everything down. Meanwhile, over here, this general unit's still fighting, but it's still getting hit by the tower. The attackers are bringing in reinforcements, and yeah, they're pulling back. They know they can no longer handle it. Pull back to one of the towers, I think. Or round this way to the ballista. Ooh, the RDI are pushing forwards with their general. Gotta be careful with that. But at this point you can start to risk it, and yeah, if he engages these units, he's probably going to cut a lot of them down. Spearmen should easily slaughter the archers and the cavalry, especially when it's a heavy spearman unit. The tower is shooting at them, but yeah, it's not really getting any kills. It's hitting the shields mostly. Ooh, nice pretty wall here. Yeah, just dead bodies. Bodies everywhere. I do like the bridge designs though, in the cities. They're still trying to throw their missiles in, but I don't think it's going to do much. The attackers are once again pushing this way. Yeah, and they're going to get a little flank in here as well because they've just got the numbers. They can afford to do that, so they should break through those. It's about 80% in favour of the attackers now. Yes, I can put it on double speed at this point. I don't think the defenders can pull it back. Right, let's zoom out and use a tactical map. Yeah, we can see it here. They're all just crumbling. They're all falling apart. They don't really have any infantry left at this point. It's mostly just archers fighting in melee. And a few generals as well, but so what. They might pull it back over here, actually. Yeah, it looks like they've pulled it back over here with their general, but so what. If they lose in the centre, then nothing matters. And I still can't see any dead general on either side. The final defenders are collapsing. It was I wouldn't say an easy win, but by like the second half of the combat, it had become an easy win for the attackers there. Well done to them. Let's take a look here at these stats. Anything big? 253, 131, a couple of hundreds there, again about 200 there. And then on the defenders side, I don't think we're going to see anything really stand out. Ooh, 270. Lusitania looks like they got a lot of kills. 183 on the ballista, and that ballista there got 102. Carthage did well. Like, looking at the KD there. The RDI fairly even. Yeah, I think it was mostly... It looks like it was Carthage getting all of those extra kills that won it for the attackers. And what lost it for the defenders was the Avavark here, in red, just taking too many hits. 2,144 losses and only 1,600 killed. And we are now here with part 2 of this final, and right now it is a 2 versus 2 instead. We have the Seleucid Empire, controlled again by Fight Me. As Numidia, we have Gurkenheld. Defending this city, again on the defender's side, we have Mr. Romantic as the Saba, and Hella Fantastic as the Odyssean Kingdom, who I will just probably call Thrace throughout this final battle. The troops are moving forwards. The catapult's getting random shots in there. I think he's just hoping for the best. Hoping for some lucky kills, or maybe he's aiming at that tower. Ooh, they're sneaking out. That's what I like to see. The siege towers blocking the towers already. They're actually defending the walls this time. I think we got a good battle here. I like it when they skirmish out like this. The rams should start smashing down the walls as well very soon. Yep, get your troops off the walls or they're about to die. Ooh, interesting move. Charging outside of the city. The defenders are going really aggressive right now. Balance of power in favour of the attackers by quite a bit as well, which you don't want to see at the start of a battle. Ooh, they're all flooding round. Ballista shots coming through, getting, I think... Nope, no hits. Oh, maybe... Yeah, some hits. But they need to do better than that, I think. Is that elephants? Yes, we've got elephants. God, I'll keep an eye on them. I love elephants. They're actually... Thrace is bringing their entire army out pretty much, with help from the Saba here. Ooh, that's not something we've seen before. We've not seen this much commitment to an aggressive push by the defender. Are those guys stuck? Yeah, they're stuck. I told them to get off the walls, and some of them fell as well. This is really not going well right now for the defenders here. But I like that we're playing it different. Have they done a... Alright, no, they're retreating back into the city. That's for Saba. You don't want to use your cavalry like that, though. You want them on open field, open terrain, where you can get good charges in. You don't want to use them in the gatehouse. They can't get any charges here. That was a big mistake, I think. Meanwhile, the attackers, I don't know what I'd do if I was them. To some extent, you need to take out this tower, because that's going to keep on shooting at you for a while. At least neutralise the tower, which I think they can do once they make this breach. Then I'd focus very heavily on the Thracians here, fighting it on the field. Such disappointing shots from the ballista. Such an interesting battle. I don't know how to cast this one, it's a bit of a mess so far. But yeah, they do need to get some unit in here to neutralise this tower. A big push into the city might actually... Ooh, imagine that. The attacker just ignores all of these guys. Big push into the city instead. They just capture all the towers and then lock down the choke points, and they just own the city. And then the defender has to become the attacker. I'd love to see that. I don't think it's going to happen. Good shot on the cataphracts. Are the cataphracts if they're camels? Yeah, I don't know what I thought for a second there. I don't think we're going to see the attacker become the defender though. Or maybe we might. Right, they're breaking there unfortunately. And I think if the attacker wins this one, I believe they win the tournament. I'm not fully familiar with the style that they're choosing to play this one. Like, if it's a best of 2, best of 3, I don't know how they're doing it. Masaba pulling back into the city, this lone Seleucid guy charging forwards, and he's going to start neutralising the tower. The defenders say it really need to get them off of this tower here, because they need this tower shooting. Imagine the kills it's getting. And those are some good archer shots as well. Another breach has been made in the wall. Right, never mind, the attackers can really just flood on in now. That must be terrifying, seeing them run in like that. Just seeing these rams must be terrifying as well. Yeah, they've neutralised the tower, they're in the city now, looking very heavily in favour of the attackers according to the balance of power. Right, this is what the defender needs to do. Yeah, so the attackers throwing everything in here, hoping to take the city I think and then turn it into a defensive battle. The defender now needs to push in and flank them, fighting on 2 different fronts. The defender has put themselves into a position where they need to go on the offensive before it's too late. And the first charges are about to begin. The cataphracts charging in there, hitting them whilst they're trying to run into the city, therefore capturing them on the flank. Let's take a look here. Beautiful, beautiful. Looking at this, it really looks in favour of the defender. It looks like they've really caught them off guard and just rammed them in the side. They can surround these guys here. I don't think it's over for the defender. I think the defenders can actually pull this back and win it. But the attackers are also in a strong position. They've got a load of good troops here, untouched, that could quite easily, I think, just run them out. Either run them out of the city or just run them off the field, especially with those elephants. But they still have flanking potential here, do the defenders, so I'd pull a few more troops forwards and start throwing them in here. Surround these guys, get the tower back onto your side. The gatehouse is still on the defender's side as well. I'd have a couple more units here. Charge into these, just to make sure they don't start neutralising the tower. Because that would be terrifying if they started to get all of the towers on their side. Ooh, my back. Oh, I've been recording all day and my back's gone. They've abandoned the ballista pretty much, which, yeah, I think probably was the right call. At least for the time being. Play them off the field a bit first, then you can get back on the ballista. The Seleucid Empire, the attackers have marched up here for some reason, taking the wall. Interesting move. I don't know why they did that. Forget their javelins in there. Wait, no, I'm an idiot, sorry. Seleucids are defending, aren't they? Yeah. Wait, no, they're not. They're attacking. I'm getting confused because they keep switching sides and everything. No, the Seleucids are the attacker. Okay, yeah. I was right originally. What they're going to do with these elephants for? One of the attackers' units is breaking. The defenders are now running up onto the wall, trying to kick the Seleucids off of it. And if they do that, they start capturing it back into their favour. So yeah, that's a good move. And then this tower can start shooting this way, straight into the attackers' forces. Balance of power still in favour of the attackers here. But it doesn't look like it looking at the map. They've still got the towers shooting at them. They've not made it into the city. They look very surrounded if you see it on the tactical map. Like, it doesn't look good for them seeing it like this. It could still... I think we've still got a close battle on our hands here. And the attacker, they need to do something more than just sit here and wait. Like, this is not the right move. Just sit in here. Because they're just being shot at by the towers, by the archers on the wall. How many have these guys killed? Oh, 13. Okay, never mind. I don't think this is the strategy that's going to work for them. Do something with the elephants, I think. And yeah, this unit here, about to break very soon, and then the tower will again flip in favour of the defender. It says there's 6 minutes left. It doesn't look like a 6-minute left battle. It still looks like we've got another 20 minutes of fighting. So I think at one point, one side is going to just charge into the other and just cut them all down. But I don't see that happening anytime soon because both sides are just stood here. The defenders have reclaimed the wall on this side. The attackers need to get some more troops here. This ram could be big, although the gate is wide open, but we'll just ignore that. We'll ignore that bug. How does the ram work if the gate's open? Can it knock it down, or do we just have to wait? It looks like they've got to wait. Meanwhile here, yeah, this unit's broken, and that means they can recapture the tower. Yeah, tower's back on their side, it's shooting again. Balance of power starting to tick a bit more in favour of the defenders here. So whatever they are doing, this weird strategy that we're seeing, it is somewhat working for them. They've taken this bit of high ground as well now. The attackers, I think the problem is, they couldn't decide what they wanted to do. I think a part of them wanted to fight this on the field and just take them out first, and I think a part of them wanted to push into the city and then play the defensive game. But now they've played a bit of both, and now I think that's what's led to them being in a messy position. That being said, they have been able to break through somehow with their archers and their cavalry. So they could start taking the city now. They've made another breach over here. That's big, I did not see that. This breach opens up so much. They're throwing their cavalry general in there. I think all sides still have their general alive. Yep, all generals are still alive. But they've now got a much bigger opening into the city. What are they doing? So, the cataphracts are back in the city now. Oh, I'm so confused at who's gonna win, because it says there's 4 minutes left. But it looks like we've got so much more fighting to get through. Which is confusing me. The Numidians charge their cavalry into their cavalry over here. Into the Saba cataphracts, but they're gonna break. Balance of power still in favour of the attacker. Okay, here we go. This is the big push, I think. The defenders push with their infantry, and the elephants are about to come through. It's got to be the elephants that force an absolutely crazy mass rout at some point. There's no other way how I can explain the battle ending so early. The Seleucid Empire, they've got their general in the cities. Their general's still alive. Yep, still alive. They've got the Numidian cavalry in there as well. They can go through and capture plazas now. The elephants, not sending them in yet. Oh, but the attackers, their troops are breaking here on this side. What a messy battle we've got. Absolute pure chaos. Are they trying to capture the plazas? Nope, that's not the plan. They're charging round instead. The Numidian generals in here, trying to make the push. And yet all sides still have their general alive. The elephants had a charge. Okay, good. And that did break them. That did break the defenders that were making a push. I love this unit. They look so cool. But balance of power now 50-50 again. 2 minutes left of the battle. And they're not charging in their elephants, they're pulling back. But now the elephants are being shot in the back, shot in the side, and they've gone berserk. That could explain why the battle just crumbles. Do the elephants just disappear from the field? Elephants are always a risky unit to have, because they could always charge your own troops. And yet I think the defenders somehow have this. Their massive push on the flank here has somehow worked out for them. And yet balance of power heavily in their favour now. It actually worked. I thought the attackers had this in the bag for sure. I love the banner, by the way. Is that an elephant? No, it's a lion. A lion holding onto a football. Cool looking building bar. Either way, this cavalry unit here, it's about to get cut down. Everything else is breaking outside. And with that, it looks like the defenders have actually held out in this city. In the weirdest battle I've ever seen. I did not know how to commentate this one, by the way. That was chaos. But well done to the defenders. Definitely a deserved win. When the balance of power at the start is that heavily against you and you still pull it back, that's a sign of some really good strategies being used. 361 kills on the elephants. But sadly, I don't think they did enough. I expected a lot more from those elephants there. And then 274 on the cavalry, the cataphracts did a lot of damage. These axemen here of the Sabah, defending the city, they did a lot of damage. And the Odysseans fighting outside, yeah, getting so many kills. The attackers really just got butchered there, which should never have happened, I don't think. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, hope to see you in the next one, and if you want to take part in any future events like this, check out the OBG Discord, linked down below in the description. But for now, goodbye.